Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Ohio County Public Library. It's the first day of school. Can you believe it? Did any of you have brothers and sisters that went back to school today? I bet some of them did. Well, we are kicking off our fall story time theme today. So, our theme for the day is apples. Do you guys like apples? Apples are yummy. How do you like to eat your apple? Do you just like to bite into an apple? Do you like to have it sliced by a big person at home? Hmm, that's a good question, huh? Do you like red apples or green apples? Yellow apples? All the apples? What about apple pie? Apple turnovers? Apple dumplings? So many yummy ways to eat an apple. Have you ever gone apple picking? Apple picking's fun. So, this week we are doing lots of apple stories. Now, I did not get our toddler time filmed so that we could show it yesterday. So, toddler time is going to pop up as a surprise this week, probably Thursday or Friday. We might do Friday morning since we do a Friday morning toddler time anyway. So, we might save it until then. But all of our books this week have an apple theme. So I hope you are ready to get started. Are you ready? I thought you would be. All right. We hit the floor together, hit the floor together, hit the floor together because it's fun to do. We clap our hands together, clap our hands together, clap our hands together because it's fun to do. We wiggle our fingers together, wiggle our fingers together, wiggle our fingers together because it's fun to do. We wave our arms together, wave our arms together, wave our arms together because it's fun to do. We kick our feet together, kick our feet together, kick our feet together because it's fun to do. And we all say hello. We all say hello. We all say hello because it's fun to do. How about an apple song? If we're doing apples, I think we ought to go all in. So, this is a counting song. So, I'm going to sing it first, and then we will sing it one time together. All right? Are you ready? 1 little, 2 little, 3 little apples, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little apples, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little apples, 10 apples in my pie. Yum! All right, you want to do it with me? It's an easy one. I think you'll be okay. All right, you ready? 1 little, 2 little, 3 little apples, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little apples, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little apples, 10 apples in my pie. Yum. Good job. If you want to hear a story, clap your hands. If you want to hear a story, clap your hands. If you want to hear a story, if you want to hear a story, if you want to hear a story, clap your hands. If you want to hear a story, nod your head. If you want to hear a story, nod your head. If you want to hear a story, if you want to hear a story, if you want to hear a story, nod your head. If you want to hear a story, sit real still. If you want to hear a story, sit real still. If you want to hear a story, if you want to hear a story, if you want to hear a story, sit real still. Okay, so our story today is Golden Delicious, a Cinderella Apple Story. This one is written by Anna Egan Smucker. And you know what's special about her? Besides the fact that she's a really nice, sweet, kind person, is that she's from here in our area. She's from up in Weirton, not too far from Wheeling. This one is also illustrated by Kathleen Kemley. And this book is special in another way. Lots of the books that I read to you are just sort of silly, fun books that someone made up. This book is based on a true story. So this is really the way the Golden Delicious apple came to be. So I am going to shift just a little bit so we can get our pictures in here well. So Golden Delicious, a Cinderella Apple Story by Anna Egan Smucker. It was apple season in the fall of 1905, and the Stark Brothers Nursery in Louisiana, Missouri, was flooded with apples. They were sent by farmers who hoped that they had grown the world's best new apple, one the Stark brothers would want to sell to all of their customers. I feel like the prince who tried a glass slipper on one smelly foot after another to find Cinderella, Paul Stark said to his brother Lloyd. Paul had just tasted another disappointing apple that sure had looked like royalty. But all those disappointments didn't stop the Stark brothers from dreaming about finding the perfect apple, one that could be crowned queen of the apple world and bring them fame and fortune. Meanwhile, miles and miles away in the hills of West Virginia, Anderson Mullins was inspecting his new farm. It had been a hot summer and everything was dry as dust. He hadn't reckoned on coming face to face with a miracle. Holy cow, he exclaimed. There in the midst of his dried up apple orchard was a glorious green-leaved tree, its branches loaded with shiny golden apples. He snapped one off and took a bite. Never had he tasted an apple so sweet, so juicy, so gosh darn delicious. For the next 8 years, during wet seasons and dry seasons, Anderson Mullins' tree produced bushels and bushels of those golden apples. Every time he entered them in the Clay County Fair, they won blue ribbons. Each year, his tree produced fruit when other trees didn't. Come springtime, when the other apples that had been in his fruit cellar all winter were wrinkly and dried out, his golden apples were still fresh and sweet. He was sure they were like no other apple in the whole wide world. So in the spring of 1914, Anderson Mullins searched his fruit cellar for the 3 most perfect golden apples he could find and sent them to Stark Brothers Nursery. He knew the Starks were always on the lookout for new and better kinds of fruit, and he was hoping for some extra dollars in his pocket. By and by, the apples arrived. Mullins, yellow seedling samples, Paul Stark read, blowing sawdust off the card. Don't waste your time on them, his brother Lloyd muttered. Yellow apples don't sell. Tough skin, bland taste, they don't keep well. But Paul had just bitten into a slice. Lloyd, Lloyd, he yelled, and he shoved a piece in his brother's mouth. Taste this. Juicy, said Lloyd. Crisp and spicy, said Paul, even though it's at least 6 months old. This can't be a yellow apple, Lloyd exclaimed. It's not, said Paul, his smile bigger than a giant slice of watermelon. It's not a yellow apple. It's a golden apple. This just might be our Cinderella, shouted Lloyd. Paul Stark found it hard to wait till the next apple harvest season. When fall finally came, he traveled hundreds of miles to see that golden apple tree, first by train, then by horseback, over winding mountain roads until he reached Odessa, West Virginia. The sun poured down hot as apple butter just out of the kettle. His white shirt stuck to him tighter than the skin on a grape, but he didn't care. At last, on a dusty country road along Porter's Creek near Odessa, Paul saw a mailbox that said A.H. Mullins. He knew his journey was almost at an end. No one answered when he knocked on the door, so he set out on his own to find Mullins' orchard and this extraordinary tree. Paul wasn't used to hills as steep as those in Clay County, West Virginia. Sweating and gasping for breath, he climbed and climbed. At first, he found only some scraggly old trees. But then he saw it, a tree with rich green leaves, its branches bent to the ground with the weight of the great crop of gorgeous, glowing, golden apples. Paul couldn't help himself. It was as if his hand reached out by itself and plucked one. He was biting into it when a farmer came striding down the hill toward him. My name's Paul Stark, Paul told the farmer. That's some apple. Name's Mullins, the farmer said. I sent you some. I know, Paul said, and I'd like to buy that tree from you. So the 2 men put their heads together and agreed on a price. Paul Stark hired workmen to build a cage to protect the tree from animals and thieves. He even ordered a wire strung from the locked cage to a battery-powered burglar alarm in Anderson Mullen's kitchen. When Paul Stark left Mullen's farm, he took a bundle of twigs from the golden apple tree with him. In early spring, those twigs were grafted onto some of the Stark brothers' apple trees, cut into the stems and wrapped tight so the two would grow together. Paul and Lloyd watched over them as if those grafted trees were hens getting ready to lay golden eggs. Those young trees grew quickly. It wasn't long before beautiful golden apples filled their branches. And what did Paul and Lloyd Stark name their apples? That was easy. Golden Delicious. In 1919, Golden Delicious won a medal for the world's best new apple. You might say it was crowned queen of the apple world. The end. And at the end of this story, Anna Egan Smucker has given us some more information on everything that happened to make Golden Delicious one of those yummy apples that we can buy in the store now. So kind of makes you hungry for an apple, doesn't it? I think so too. Miss Leanne could eat an apple right now. Okay, are you ready for Old MacDonald? Hey, let's put our lid down here on the floor and let's sing. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on his farm he had, let's dig way down in here today and see who we get. Oh, a raccoon, E-I-E-I-O, with a wash, wash here and a wash, wash there. Here a wash, there a wash, everywhere a wash, wash. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on his farm he had an owl, E-I-E-I-O, with a hoo, hoo here and a hoo, hoo there. Here a hoo, there a hoo, everywhere a hoo, hoo. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. On his farm he had, pulled out like 5 that time, a bunny, E-I-E-I-O, with a hop, hop here and hop, hop there. Here a hop, there a hop, everywhere a hop, hop. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on his farm he had, hard to get out of here today. Oh, there's a story time favorite. A snake, E-I-E-I-O, with a s here and a s there. Here, there, everywhere. S. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on his farm he had, this one just jumped out, so we're going to do him. A bear, E-I-E-I-O, with a grrr here and a grrr there. Here a grrr, there a grrr, everywhere a grrr, grrr. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on his farm he had a cat, E-I-E-I-O, with a meow, meow here and a meow, meow there. Here, meow, there, meow, everywhere, meow, meow. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Nice job. So remember, our schedule is a little bit different now that school is back for some of you. So tomorrow we are going to do an activity and a story at noon. So if you're sitting down to eat some lunch and you would like to hear a story and learn about how apples grow, you can tune in with me again. We are going to be reading The Apple Pie Tree. Wish I had one of those. That would be pretty cool. So we're going to read The Apple Pie Tree and we're going to learn about how apples grow. So maybe you should have an apple for a snack. What do you think? Sound good? Maybe. Okay. So from now on, we're going to keep doing our toddler time. Starting next week is going to move back to that Monday spot. We didn't do it yesterday because of Labor Day. I'm going to do it on Friday this week, but normally our toddler time would be Monday at 10:30. Our story time's going to stay Tuesday at 10. And then we're going to do a story and an activity every Wednesday at noon. So you can check back with me tomorrow so we can learn how apples grow and hear another fun apple story. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. Okay. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye, guys. Maybe you should have some apple snacks. You think? I think so too. Bye-bye.